Good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning, sir.
How was the day? Have you done all the analysis?
Nice.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Let me check it out that first. Have you submitted that all five?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you submitted via comment or you have submitted as an assignment?
The assignments.
Okay. Okay. Inventory.sql, that is a database file you have submitted. Okay. Let me open the XAMPP. Let me try using PHPMyAdmin. Inventory.sql. Okay. Then bus ticket booking. Here is the B1, B2, that is the image. Okay, login. Okay, screen. Okay. This is the text file. Okay, this is the SQL. Let me download it. Bus.sql file. Let me test it on my PHPMyAdmin. Database is working fine or not. How to import the database into the PHPMyAdmin? Yesterday you have taken a backup, that is export
Yeah.
option.
Yes, sir.
How to import?
Import option.
Okay, one thing option is we need to go to the import option. We need to select that particular SQL file. Okay, that is a one option. Second option is just drag and drop. Drag your file over here. It will be automatically added. So this is the another options for importing your SQL file. Yes, it is showing that inventory.sql and success. That means all this particular data is imported. Let me click on structure. Okay, all these tables are there. Let me go randomly to bill master table, structure. Okay, all these fields are there. Let me again go to the sample. Here is the options of data dictionary. Let me click on data dictionary. So all the table will come up directly over here. Here I can able to review it that you have given the primary key. These are all the remaining field. Here all are the integer. B amount, B quantity, rate can be a float. So whenever you are adding the rates, use float. Similarly, amount will be float because rate is a float. Quantity multiplied by rate will be there. So amount need to be float. Okay. C name. That much character is not necessary. We can give 50 characters. For email address 255 is perfect. Address, we can give 255, no issue. Product name, product rate. Here rate we will convert it to the float. Okay, that's fine. Let me remove all this table, drop it out. Let me import bus. So bus database is in import is in process. Okay, it is imported. Let me go to the data dictionary. Okay, BMID, B number, B seat, okay, CMID, all these details. Okay, in mobile number generally we are giving a 10-digit mobile number, so you can give maximum 11, 12 or 15, something like that, not more than that. Route master is there. From station, 2 stations, schedule date time. Okay, this is fine. Both are perfect. Let me go back to the next. Railway. Railway.sql. Let me download that SQL file. Let me remove all this previous table. That is a drop. Yes. Drag and drop. Import is in process. Okay, done. RAIL, customer master, payment detail, route master, train detail master. Okay, let me go to data dictionary. Okay, customer payment will be always similar one, payment master, route master again. Okay, train master, train detail, train seat number. Okay. Okay. Next time onwards, you can do one more thing also. Whenever you are preparing the database, you can write down some small comments so that we can understand later on that what is the meaning of this particular field. For example, let's say ticket number. So what is the purpose of this ticket number, or how you will store that ticket numbers over here? So you can write it down one line comments for the same. It is not necessary for all the fields, but some fields where confusions are there, so we can remove the confusions. So this is the fine. So hope you have prepared all this database perfectly. Okay.
Yes.
And layout you have prepared, that is login layout, home layouts. So that's fine. Layout can be changed later on, because whenever we are implementing actually, so layout will be always changed. So now this part is over, database design and layout design. Do you have any confusions, questions regarding the database preparations or layout preparations? Any confusion so far regarding database or layout or previous sections? Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So now let's jump into the day 4, that is the PHP fundamentals. So let us start with the PHP, that how PHP is useful to us, and we will start with the building particular websites using the PHP. So before starting with the website development, let me cover up the PHP part. So what is the PHP, why we need to go with the PHP, all these points we are supposed to discuss today. Basically PHP is a dynamic programming language. Why we need a PHP? Whenever you are developing a website, the websites can be either static or a dynamic. If it is a static website, then HTML website is enough. But whenever you want to do something dynamic, at that time we need some server side programming language like a PHP or Java or .NET or any other language. So in that case, we are going with a PHP. Why we have selected PHP? Because PHP is very easy to learn and quick to start development as a job as well as website development. So it is very easy. Second thing, it is open source. So there is no need to pay any penny to anyone for using the PHP. And most of the servers are Linux based server for the PHP, so that we can get that server at minimum cost, or we can say sometimes at 0 rupees, that you have already implemented, you have uploaded one websites and you have created account on a 000 web host. They are providing free of cost domain and hosting service, so that they can use it. That is only possible with a PHP. That is not possible with a Java and .NET, because they are the priority proprietary languages, and for the same we need to pay some X or Y amounts. So in case of the PHP, it is very easy. Now in programming language, whenever you are starting with a programming language, two things are necessary. So let me explain that two important parts. So one thing that is too much important is the logic, and second part is the syntax. So what is important as your point of view, logic or syntax?
Logic.
Okay, great. So answer is your 100% right, logic. But what happens actually in college or in seminars, in workshops, what is there in mind? People are always thinking of the syntax and going behind the syntax. I suggest do not go with the syntax. Do not afraid of any syntax, because syntax can be learned from any websites, but logic cannot be learned from a website. Either you have to develop your own logic, or you have to learn from direct experts. These are the only two ways to learn the logic. So today I am supposed to explore the logic part. Syntax part is readily available with the website. So first we will go and check that how much syntax are available, what is the possibility of the PHP, that we will cover up first. So let me go to the PHP tutorial. I am just searching for the PHP tutorial. I'm searching just PHP tutorial. You will find lots of websites with the PHP tutorial. One popular website is W3 Schools. I'm frequently using these websites. So now these websites are having everything about the PHP. So you can learn each and everything. That is the syntax part, not logic part. Syntax part from this particular website. So what I request is to go through these particular PHP sections, each and every page. Just read out fast. Don't go into the depth. Each and every word is not necessary. Just read out that what is there in PHP, so that somebody is asking you that this is possible with PHP, you can say yes or no. That is the enough things. So this is a, you can say, server-side scripting language, powerful tool for making dynamic and interactive web pages. PHP is widely used, free and efficient alternative competitor such as Microsoft, ASP.NET, and so on. The latest version is a PHP 7. So how we can add the PHP? We can add a PHP code like this. This is the starting PHP and ending PHP. In between that code, we can write any PHP code. We can use the try it yourself options also to check whether this particular things is running. What is the output of this particular code? This is the output of this particular code. Then going to the next part. So this is the introductions. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, that you should already know to learn the PHP, because this is the prerequisites, because website can be developed using HTML only. So PHP, you are using dynamic language, but you need to convert your PHP code into the HTML code. Then and then that can be executed by the browser. So HTML is essential. CSS is required sometimes to change the color, change the themes. you are taking ready-made templates, but at least you need to understand few things of the CSS so that you can change it sometimes if it's required. And JavaScript sometimes it is required. And one more part is also required sometimes, jQuery. Sometimes we need to use a jQuery in our websites. So that you need to learn of later on. This is regarding the PHP. What is a PHP file extensions? We have to give compulsory .php as an extension. Otherwise, PHP script will not be interpreted. So .html file cannot be executed on a server end, and in .html file, suppose you have written something and PHP code, that will not execute it. Let me give you one particular example. I'm copy pasting this particular code. I'm going to the notepad. I'm saving these particular files. Let me go to the XAMPP, htdocs, test. Sorry, test is available. Website 2, file index.php. Now, right click, open containing folder in Explorer. Now I am opening directly into the browser, Google Chrome. You can see the things. Code display is there. Why? Why it is displaying code?
Sir, there is a local host. We write down on URL.
Why we require localhost?
Because XAMPP locally execute the code in
No,
our computer.
no. Your answer is bit correct, but what is exactly things? PHP code can be executed by Apache server only, and Apache server has a setup of some compiler of a PHP that can interpret this particular code. If you are opening .php file directly into the browsers, it will not interpret any code. So that's why they have opened something like that. Suppose you open the same things into the localhost / website 2. So it will interpret that PHP code and the output is that. So you can able to get that output. So this is the things of syntax and logic. So logic. So logic part is that you need to understand how to execute this particular file using server. It can be localhost server, it can be actual server, or it can be any servers, but server is necessary with a PHP enabled compiler. In server, we need a PHP compiler also. Let us go back. So this was the things. Then we have discussed about the PHP. This is the 7 version details. We are not going into the depth. This is the syntax. This is the comment line. You can use a comment, something like that. Here it is showing that what is the case sensitivity, the PHP. Then comments are there, then variables are there. Variables is particular things, particular names where you can store your some values. That is for the temporary purpose, so that you can do some processing on that variables and later on you can display or store into the database. So that is a variable. This is the best way to display something on your screen using echo method. Either you can use echo or you can use print options. These many data types are available, but you are not supposed to worry about the data types, because whenever you are writing some values, automatically PHP will consider it as some internal data type. So no need to worry. In case of C language, C++ language, Java language, we need to specify that whether it is an integer or float or something else. So, but here there is no need to specify. It will automatically check it. These are the string options. That strlen, it will return the particular number of characters inside that particular string. Str word count, it will count the number of words. That number of word is 1 and 2 is there. So there are n number of string functions available with a particular PHP. This is related with the numbers. Is integer is there, so it is validating that particular value. Float, is float is there, this is infinite value is there, not a number. Sometimes we need to check out that whether this number is there or not, so we can use these particular options. Is, whenever we are finding that is value, that means it is a validations one, either it will return true or it will return false. We can use these particular is underscore some functions into the particular if conditions to validate. Then mathematical functions are there. We can use the pi, we can use minimum, we can find out the minimum, maximum, absolute number, square root, round, and so on. So many functions are there. Then constant, you can declare the constant over here, something like that, define. So later on, this value cannot be changed throughout your projects. This is just a first time setup of a particular variable. Later on, you can use it to display that values, but we cannot change the value. Generally, it is a norm that whenever you are declaring constant, please write it down in a capital letter so that we can able to identify this is the variable, this is my constant. Then operators are there. These many operators are supported. I can say almost all operators are supported: plus, minus, multiply, divisions, modulo, exponential. Then assignment operator is there. Plus and assignment, it is a shorthand operator is also there. So you can use it as per your requirements. Then condition structure is there. If condition, if along with else, if along with else if, and else. So you can use something like that. Then switch is there. Sometimes you can use the switch also instead of if. This is the example is already given. Loop is there. Functions are there. You can create your own functions using this particular method, function and function name and that particular code. Then arrays are there. Suppose you are having a multiple values, for example, let's say 10 student name or 10 seat numbers are available. You would like to process some things, then you can go with the array. This is the example of the array. Inside the array, we are having the options also. We are not going into the depth right now. Then form handling is there. Here, in case of the form, we are having a two methods. One is a post method, another one is a get method. This is too much important things about the form. Do you know the difference between get and post?
Yes, sir.
What is
Post means secure website. It's so HTTPS, and get is not secure.
Okay. Anything else other than this? Can you give me real examples of the post, that this website is using post and this website is using get?
Google Pay is secure, so it shows the HTTPS.
You are saying about a website HTTPS. For example, this is HTTPS. This is a lock symbol is there. So this is connection is secure, but
Secure.
that security is not with a post and get method. Post method and get method are having something different things. Whenever you are posting, let me go to the Google. PHP post versus get. I am pressing enter. Now see the URL of Google. What is the URL? Just read out this URL. This is a search.
There is a
Question mark is there. Then some values are there. You can able to see their things. Let us remove this value because we need this value only, because this is essential. Yes. So what is written over here? PHP post versus get. Whatever I have written in a search query, that is comes up over here. Are you getting my points?
yes.
So this is the post. This is the get method. So search engine is using which method? Get method.
Get.
Yes, get method is used to go from one website to another website, another website, another website, something like that. Let me give you one more example. Let me unblock my ad blocker. I'm searching software development company in Surat. Might be some advertisement will be there at the end or starting. Here is not that. Yes. What is these things? What is written over here? Add. That means are you aware with these things, these concepts?
Sir.
Sorry.
No, sir.
Okay. This is the advertisement given by this particular company. This is the Bitrix 24 company. They have given the advertisement to the Google, and Google is displaying that advertisement to the users. Whenever you are clicking on this particular advertisement, it will open. Now the URL will be something different. Now I am clicking on this particular URL. Try to focus on the URL part here. Remember that is what is that opening? I click on that particular, it opens Bitrix 24 websites. But in between that things, they have opened. They have opened particular first Google websites, then they have opened the Bitrix websites. So from website 1 to website 2, website 2 to website 3, website 3 to website 4. This way, suppose you would like to go or you would like to track the users from where it comes, then we need to use which method? Get method. In case of login form, registration form, change password, forgot password, add or something like that, in all these particular cases we can use with a post method. So is it clear? Post method is used for the forms. If you are going with a login form, if you are going with some other forms, let's say change password, forgot password, or any form, or add form, edit form, something like that. So all these forms are having generally, we can say, post methods. But in case of whenever you are using advertisement, you would like to go from one website to another website, or Google advertisement or Bing advertisement, they all are using get method to track the users. In that case, for advertisement, post method is not possible to use it. So they are using a get method. So we need to understand that options. In a post method, data will send from one page to another page in a hidden mode. In case of get method, data will send into the URL. So anybody can read that data from the URL. So this is the disadvantages of the get method, that URL, everything will be shown up.
Okay.
Whenever you would like to upload the file to the server, compulsory you have to use a post method, because we cannot embed file into the URL. File will be a long things. We cannot convert that things to that much character and we can store it. Again, second problem is of the get method, that in a get URL there is a limitations of number of characters. Suppose you go beyond that character, it will ignore that character. So URL limitations will be there for the get method, but in case of the post method, there is no limitations. You can upload n number of file, n number of data at the time. So this is all about get and post method. Then form validations are that you can do some validations, that name validation, email validations are there. Then some of the PHP advanced functionality, for example, date time related operations. You would like to check out date and these formats. Let me go to try now. So this format will result date in this format, again second format, third format and fourth format. So you can able to review that thing. So date are having many different parameters. Suppose you like to go into the each and every parameters, there will be one particular link available with either W3 Schools or some other website. We can go into that depth also. So file handling is there, a file upload is there. Suppose you like to upload the file to the servers, we need to use these options. The sample code is given over here. Then cookie management is there. Where exactly cookie is used? Cookie is used to store some data at client end, at a browser level. Suppose you like to store user preferences, that which page user has opened, which query string user has searched, everything you would like to store it, then we can use a cookie. But this is at a client end, so not secure. session is created at a server end, so it is a secure one. Login, whenever we are logging to particular websites, sessions will come into the picture. And few more things are also there. This is related with the database. Database connection is there, insert data is there, select data is there, order by, delete, update, and so on. So these all are the syntax. You can learn syntax whenever you are getting some time. Just go through it and just try to remember the words only, keywords only. Do not remember the syntax of each and everything. You step by step you will automatically learn that things. So this is all about the syntax. Now let us download one particular templates and develop a website. So I am going back to the Google. I am searching free templates. I am going to this particular websites. You can go with any websites. Now, whenever you are developing a website, you need to choose the template as per your requirements, because every website will require some different functionality. Do not select the bad template, or do not select the templates which are not having the functionality as per your requirements. Otherwise, you need to change a lot. You will waste your maximum time. So try to select the base template. For example, let me open these particular templates. Let me go to the preview. That is a live demo is there. Home, about us, create your CV, contact us is there. Here the two slider images are there. Here one particular image. This is the professional looking websites. Another page is there. Let us check it out. Yes, about us page is also there. Create your CV. Okay, similar page is there. Contact us. Okay, contact us form is there. Sign up options. Okay, sign up option is not there. So we can go with that particular templates. So how to use this particular template, that we have already discussed on a first day. Still, let us check it out again. I am going to the htdocs, creating website 3. I'm downloading these particular templates. I'm drag and drop their templates over here, extract here, delete, X, Control V. Let me open localhost website 3. Now this particular template is ready. Now you can modify. For example, these three things you would like to fetch up from the database. Then which code you require? These three things you would like to fetch from the database. So what will come up in your mind at that time?
Yes, sir.
I would like to fetch these three things from the database.
Database.
So what will come up into the mind? What you are thinking at that time, that I would like to fetch these things from the database?
The particular format will fetch from the database when you create CV. We have the customer have entered their details and.
Okay, these are having the two fields only. One image is there, one title is there. Okay, but whenever you would like to display something from the database, you are supposed to fetch some data from the database. So select option is required to you. Select query is must. So how you can implement that things? For that, PHP select query example. You need to search something like that. PHP select query example. You will find into the particular W3 schools. Open that W3 schools and you will have this particular codes, readily available codes. Are you getting my points?
Yes, sir.
So by using this way, you can display this particular data over here in this particular website. These three things you like to fetch from the database. You need to create one particular tables and you can fetch it, these particular informations. Now suppose you like to have these particular login informations or sign up informations. Here the login page is not there. Suppose you like to add this login page over here. How you can add that login page? You need to create a form.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you need to create a form. You need to paste it over here so that this can be converted into the login page directly.
Okay.
Okay. So in login page, what will be the code? What will be the verifications you need on a second page? Let me create a login page so that you can able to understand it. I'm login.html. I'm opening into the notepad. I'm searching form. So forms is there. Now in form, first thing is please enter. This is the name, this is the email address, this is the number. Email address I need it. This element I don't need it. Your number, your message, your number. Instead of number I need a password. Here is the login button. Here I am adding these options as a email to password. Input type, we need to change it to the password. Please enter your password. Now I'm opening this page. This is a login.html. Now you will find this will come up with your email, your password. Let me remove this message. This message I don't want it. And where is the submit form? Okay, yes, I don't want this one. Yes. So this is my login form. I would like to add headings. So we can add the heading also, something like that. For example, I'm copy pasting this particular division. H2. H2, that is a heading of HTML. I can give the H1, H2, H3, something like that. We can use this particular login. So we need to enter the email address, we need to enter the password, we need to click on login. Whenever we are clicking on login, it should redirect to some other page. So for that, we need to use the form action. Where is the form? This is the input box. This is the form. Method is equal to post. Action is equal to page2.php. So whenever you are submitting this particular data, it will goes to the page2.php.
Yes.
Require data error. These validations we don't want it. We don't want these validations. This is the validations. Require data error. And we can change this particular ID name to something else so that validation can stop working, because they have bind up some things on a JavaScript. Now let me refresh this page. I'm writing some values. I have clicked. So now you can see that it comes up with the page2.php. So now my work, it is working fine, that it goes to the page2.php. So I need to create a page2 right now. Let me save it, page2.php. Previous page can be the HTML page because they are not having any PHP code. So that's fine, no issue will be there. But whenever you would like to add the PHP code, we need to use PHP page compulsory. So what is the name over here? Here is a email and here is a pass. That is the
Pass.
password. Yes. So that will come up using $_post method. Email dollar email control D pass. Let me echo that things. Now let me refresh this page. Undefined email, undefined pass. Yes, let me go back, refresh, because we have changed the name. Now let me set up this particular 1 2 3 4 5 submit. Now you can see the thing, email address and password is received. This is received based on which method? Post method.
Post.
Suppose you using get method, then it will display into the URL. Now you would like to now you would like to validate whether this data is valid on the database or not. You would like to check this kind of things. So you need to use a select query over here. So let me copy paste this select query. Now try to remember that things. Most of the codes I am copy pasting from the W3 schools. So you need to understand this concept. You are not supposed to write each and everything manually. You need to understand that how you can copy paste or utilize this particular code. Website 3. Now let me go to the phpMyAdmin. I need to create a database also. That is a website 3. res underscore user underscore master UMID, that should be auto increment. Uname varchar 100. Email varchar 255 and a password varchar 100. Enter. Let me insert one value. For example, a@a.com, password is 12345. Let me change the name to ABC. Now we need to validate with these particular fields. So I am using this value, select star from user master, where my field name is uemail. Uemail is equal to single quote because it is a string, $email, and upass is equal to $pass. So it will fetch these things. I just want to check whether this number of row resulted is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, then it's valid one. I don't want this one. Let me put it login success login failed. Now let me refresh that page. Login failed. Why login failed is there? That I am passing computer others and 1 2 3 4 5. Let me copy this data. I've inserted this row. Going back, now I'm refreshing this particular page. Now you will get a login success. Whenever login success is there, you are supposed to return to the some home page. So in case, you can write down something like this: header location home.php. So now let me check it out. It redirect to home.php. Now you can see the URL home.php is there. Before going to the home.php, suppose you'd like to add something into the sessions. So you can write it down something like this: session. Let's say user ID. Would like to valid user, you would like to write down some message or something like that, so that you can able to identify that particular user is login successfully, or you like to store some user ID also in a sessions, you can store it. So this concept is clear of a login page.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. The same things will be used for the registration page. What will be the change in a registration page?
Registration page, there is a more fields like name, email, mobile number, uh,
Okay. Okay.
personal details,
Okay.
address,
Okay. Okay.
and finally there is one button submit,
Okay.
and
And
it will store to the database.
yes, exactly. So on a second page, you are supposed to insert the data. In login page, you are supposed to validate the data using select query. In case of registration, you are supposed to insert the
Insert.
data to particular database.
Yeah.
So this concept is clear that this is the registration page, this is the login page. What will be the
Yes.
there in a change password?
In change password, first they validate the email address or mobile number.
Okay.
They send OTP to that, and they check OTP.
Okay.
And if it is correct, it will provide one page in which they will option to change password, and it will reset to the database.
Yes, exactly.
Password.
But the steps you have given is for the forgot password.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the forgot password is whenever you forgot the password, you need to provide your mobile number, OTP will come up, then we need to validate that OTP, then we can set the new password over that. But in case of the change password, user is already logged into the systems. So in a session variable, there will be some ID of the users. So from session, we need to fetch that ID, then we can provide the new old password and new password. We will validate it and we can update it out. So this is the process of the change password. Now, what will be the process of insert, update, and delete? Suppose, let's take an example that you like to display something like that. Let me show you one particular page. So you would like to use something like this. For example, product master is there. So what you need to do in a product master, you need to do insert, update, and delete. Are you getting my words?
Yes, sir.
So for that, you need to prepare number of more pages. Insert page, update page, delete page. Again, in insert page, two pages will be there. One page is for the HTML data fill up, that is a form. Second page will be actually inserting data into the database. Similarly, edit page, first we need to fetch the data. Then in the second page, we can upload it out. And delete, we need to find out that particular operations, we need to confirmations for the same, and we can finally delete that particular record. So insert, update, delete. So what is this particular page, or we can say this layout is not from this particular website. For example, we are considering this website. So this is which website? Front end website. This is not an back end website. Generally, insert, update, delete operations are to be done by back end websites. So which one template you can use for the backend website? This is not a backend website template. This is the front end website template. So backend website template is something different. So now let me show you that template also. You can search something like this: backend admin panel template free download. Let me go over here. You can see the things. This is the star admin. This is a majestic. This is the plus admin. It is loading. Purple admin. Breeze. Stellar. material, the next place. Let me show you one particular popular one. Please search free admin panel template. Admin LT is the popular one. You can use this admin LT templates. So how to customize the things on an admin LT? I am clicking on download options. Admin LT 3.0 versions. Source code. It is up to 23 MB. It contains so much information. You will learn, you can do everything of the admin panel. Admin panel is for either admin or vendor kind of things. In case of Amazon, we have discussed the things that Amazon customer website is there, again businessman website is there, and admin panel is there. So for admin panel, you can use this admin LT. For businessman website, again you can use admin LT. Now let me show you this admin LT template. Let me create a website for. I'm extracting this template. It is a huge template, so too much informations are there, too much screens are there, all insert, update, delete, every operations are there, charts are there, listing is there, too much things are there. Why we are using these templates? So that our design can look attractive, and we are not supposed to focus or waste time on design part. Design is ready made, just we need to use our PHP code to integrate it. Okay, so now let me delete this zip file. Let me go extract it. Website 4 localhost website 4. Now you can see these things. This is the admin template dashboard. I have opened from the local PC. So you can give something like this dashboard. You can remove some options, you can add some options. For example, this is a new order, you can change it to the customers, you can change it to the number of seats booked, number of pending seats, you can change anything. All things are possible. These are the forms, these are the tables, simple tables. You can see the things, tables are there. So whatever I have seen over here, this is the same one. Are you getting my points?
Yes, sir.
So this is the admin LT templates basically. So you can use these particular templates to display the data for add operations. Here you will find a lot many things. Forms will be there. Lots of forms are there. So many operations are there. These all are the HTML pages. You can go into that things and you can take a code. You can utilize that codes. At some point of time, you will find out the difficulty, but once you start using, you will came to know each and every functionality of this particular template. So this is the form. You can see the things. Here the everything, all the pages are also there. Login pages is there. Extra, we can have that thing. Here is the login page. You can see the things. This is the login page. We can modify this page. For example, let me open this particular login page. I'm going to website 4. I'm going to pages, extra, where it is there, it is inside the examples, login is there. I'm customizing this particular page. For example, I don't want this one. I don't want or. I'm searching or. So this is the or part. I don't want this. I can remove it out. Now, sir, refresh this page. You can see the things. It is removed. Are you getting my points? It is very easy, because the templates are there, themes are there. Suppose you like to change this admin LT, okay, no problem. Just find out this where it is written admin LT. It is written over here. Now refresh this page. You can see the things. It is there. Are you getting?
Yes, sir. Sir, this is for the admin side.
Yes, this is for the admin side and businessman side. For customer end, that previous templates we have seen, that is for the customer end.
Yes, sir.
Okay, why we are using this for the admin? Because in admin there will be a rich functionality. There will be add, update, delete, import. So many functionality will be there. So we need to use some templates which can provide more functionality. Here attractiveness, that much attractiveness is not necessary, because admin is knowing that things, everything. They just want to manage their products easily. So we can provide. In previous example, we have taken care of the login example. The same things you can implement over here. Login, and then you can redirecting it to the home page. So home page will be something like this. This is your dashboard. This is your dashboard. Here the three dashboards are there. You can use any dashboard. This is the index file for the dashboard 1. This is index 2 for the second dashboard, and index 3 for the third dashboard. You can choose any dashboard as per your requirements. Suppose in case of the dashboard 1, you don't want this particular thing. Let's say this to-do list, you don't want it. So what you are supposed to do? Just go to the index.php file where it is there exactly inside the website 4 index. Website 4, here is the index. I'm opening into the notepad. Now you don't want to-do list. So search over here to-do list. You will find that to-do list is over here. Now you are supposed to remove, click it over here. Now remove that card. It is removed. Are you getting my words? So it is very easy to prepare such things. It is very difficult. Suppose I assign you the task to prepare this calendar, then it will be too much difficult. But if ready to use the calendar is available, we can use it. Just you need to understand few things. This is the complete calendar. You can see the things. 21 is highlighted, is there. This is the Thursday is there. May 2020 is there. You can change the year also. So much functionality is given over here. Suppose you build this calendar, it will take a week, 1 week to develop just calendar. Now that they have given you ready to use calendar, just you need to use that calendar. That's it.
Yes, sir.
So now, what is the today's task? Today's task is to prepare a website for at least one particular topics. You can choose anything. You are having a database, you need to do insert, update, delete, login, change password, forgot password, as much as you can. You can go with anything. For example, we are having this many databases are ready, this many layouts are ready. Now you are having the templates also. You can use the templates and you can implement it. I am giving you 15 minutes to test it right now, so that you will came to know some errors and I can resolve that error also. Okay, so I am giving you 15 minutes break. Start preparing that thing. Just focus on one particular topics. Do not focus on all. Just randomly put one particular eye on these particular topics, any topics. Then download the front end template, download the back end templates, and start preparing the things. Okay, I will be come back after 15 minutes to solve your errors, because at that time you will came to know that this is how to do this, how to do this, how to do this, so that I can solve it out. Okay. Okay, start preparing the theme. I will be back in a 15 minutes.